on sports!
All right, gentlemen. It's a blustery day in Monroeville. 50 degrees turning into 18, which you got to love. You just got to love that.
How do you dress, Dave? How do you dress?
You know what? Usually I wear a sweater to work because, when your heater is controlled by somebody 10 states away, they often don't turn it on in the middle of winter. So today, excitedly, I went into polo, my bouquet polo. And I froze my ass out. It was a bad mistake.
Were you showing? Were you nipping?
Oh, I could have cut glass. People would have been shoving dollar bills down my pants.
Well, at least you had a place to hang your keys.
That's good. That's good.
Oh, you better believe it. Well, I'm here tonight. We're going to go with Western slang nicknames.
Western slang nicknames. All right.
Number from 1 to 10. Gary?
How about number 2 tonight?
Okay, it's Gary Backdoor Trots.
Backdoor. What's the
Backdoor
second
Trots. You are Backdoor Trots kin. It's exactly what you think it means.
Oh man, I'm hoping this one isn't highly watched.
Wow.
Pick a number.
Western slang.
Any number but 2. I'm going to take 4.
All right. You are 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. You're Chris Back Seats, Fletcher.
Someone's got some issues with this generator.
I'm telling you, this one's got its listening to too many Aerosmith songs.
Yes. Oh my God.
Dave, you're number 9.
I'll tell you what a prostitute is, okay?
You're number 9, Dave.
Okay. Dave Beef Tea Finoli.
What? Beef teeth.
Beef tea.
Beef teeth.
Wow.
It's shallow water where it smells good. Apparently, it's exactly what you think it is.
Sometimes you need to leave some room for the imagination, man.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, you could have been Bellychester. You could have been Chris Bellychester, Fletcher.
There's some who might say that I am.
Oh my God. Yeah, this is going away next week. I gotta tell you that.
Yeah, bury that one.
Go back to their wrestling nicknames if we do it. So.
We'll celebrate the wrestling.
I think we should pick one for each other. I think we should get in the habit of doing it and be prepared to come for the week.
Why don't we make that a next door thing?
Okay.
Next week. Not next door, because Lord knows I'm sure that has some connotation to it. Also. But, man, been a weird week.
Very.
Week whatsoever. I got to tell you, and we'll talk about the Astros in a little bit. I've had some fun with that. Stop getting fun as it goes on. But I'll tell you what I'm having some trouble with this week. It's not necessarily that Myles Garrett said what he said. He is what he is. I mean, here's a guy that is, in my mind, now, if you have proof that Mason Rudolph said it, by all means, Mason Rudolph should have been fined heavily, should have been suspended, but he shouldn't have had, no matter what happened, he shouldn't have had a blunt instrument taken to his head. To me, this is just a case of what goes on in society anymore, where somebody doesn't want to take the blame. They want to apologize, but then they want to tell you why they were right in doing what they did. And I mean, he said it, whatever, he's got no proof he said it. Tomlin, good response. My problem is the ESPN interview.
Yep.
Where they've basically, I mean, I will make no, I have no problem saying that Fox News and MSNBC both suck and both are a huge problem in this country because people look at them and take what they give for truth, and it's a large cause of the stupidity of this country. But ESPN has now put themselves in that level where they know they have no proof that this happened. The NFL and the Steelers have talked to several Browns folks that have no idea that this happened. No Steeler has said that this has happened. There is no proof whatsoever that Mason Rudolph did what he did. But they interview this guy as if it's the rock solid truth. Poor guy. Poor you. Yes, of course, hit somebody with a blunt instrument over the head, and which could have killed somebody, because you had every right to. You poor guy. Never once looked into, giving the other side. Never basically considered that, this could be a man lying. And I'm just embarrassed of it. I mean, I can't say I'm going to give up ESPN because I will watch the games. But I'm sorry, I can't watch anything other than the games on there anymore. And I probably am not going to just turn it on just because I'm bored if there's nothing on I want to see. But these guys have to be embarrassed. I mean, this isn't news. This is you trying to create an issue that I don't think is an issue at this point. Shut the fuck up. Shut
pretty much.
Pretty
much.
Yep.
Nobody can prove what you said. It doesn't excuse you for what you did. I mean, that's not a fight. It's not a fist. It's something that could kill a man. And I've had it. I've just had it with these people. I'm embarrassed. Jeremy Shapp was even involved, the guy I respected. And I just don't know how to fix any of this. You fix it, I guess, by not being so goddamn stupid and gullible that you're going to watch it and you're going to make these people money. I guess that's how you stop.
How you stop.
Yellow journalism. But we're not going to do it. I mean, we're not going to do it. I didn't watch the thing, but I sure as hell read a lot about it. I ended up watching it before the show and in a replay just to make sure I was talking about what I was hearing, and that was exactly what they did. They just basically threw Mason Rudolph out to roast.
Yep.
Because racism makes money for ESPN.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
mean, what do you think, Fletch?
Well, I think that Mike Tomlin showed why he is a great coach.
Yeah.
When he came and he called ESPN on the carpet for what they had done. And that's why everyone in that locker room goes balls to the walls for that guy.
Yeah.
So that's the positive I'm taking out of this. The negative is it's as you said, Dave, I, as a former journalist, I see that kind of stuff and it just drives me crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, unacceptable, completely irresponsible, unacceptable. And if I'm the NFL, I have a pretty good call. I have a call coming in and I'm saying, look, you and I are partners. You're not going to do this kind of shit again. We're done with that. This is over. We moved on. We did our investigation. Nothing came out with it. If you want to continue to carry our games, you're going to need to back the fuck off.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that's.
But the fact that Jeremy Shapp was involved with that just broke my heart.
Oh, so much respect for him in the past. I have no words. I have absolutely no words for him being involved in this.
This
would not happen under Bob Lee. That's all I'm going to say about that.
No, or Grant or any of the initial guys. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. Different world. It was a different world, I think, unfortunately, as far as the reporting is concerned. But no, I completely agree, Chris. It would not have happened. Or Lee would have done the interview himself. That's the difference.
Right.
Ask the guy the tough questions. Did his agent make a stipulation that you can have the interview only if you stop? Well, it probably had something to do with it, but
probably
you made a choice. You don't do the interview.
Right.
This guy doesn't deserve having time on this. He did something that was, you can't even justify any way to do that. I call you an asshole. Okay, I'm justified in shooting you. Or
Hitting you over the head with a club. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other part of it too is that if I'm Mason Rudolph, I think I'm suing him. I think you've defamed my character. You've made it probably difficult for me to really earn because of this.
Yeah.
Could.
Yeah.
I'd sue him.
I mean, he wasn't. I mean, Rudolph took the high road. So did the Steelers, honestly, after the incident. But now this comes back up. I can't say I would blame Rudolph for taking whatever he's got to do to protect himself.
I think that's what pissed off Tomlin.
Yep, I think so.
You know what? We took the high road on this.
Yes, they did.
And you're coming back again because I'm sure if he's lying, obviously this is all about getting his reputation back, which I don't know what the hell reputation he thinks he has.
But what is it about where we are right now, where when you lie, which I'm just going to call him a liar.
Yeah.
There's
no reason not to think he's a liar.
That you double down on it. Why not just let it go? He had the perfect ability to walk away from all of this shit and let it go, get reinstated, carry on with his career. But he doubled down on what he had done before. There's a certain guy in the White House who's made a living on a double down on untruths. And I think that's what we're seeing here too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, what does it take then? What does it take to get character back into sports? What does it take to get character back into politics? I mean, I put a lot of blame for all this stuff. We can blame ESPN, but I blame the people that put their eyes on it, people that give them the time and give them the revenues by watching the thing.
Maybe we're just old guys, but ESPN really has not been the same since the changing of the guard.
No.
I mean, you started getting a lot of these newer guys in, and it was all hype. They weren't telling stories anymore, and they weren't digging the way that ESPN had done in the past.
No. And you're not a political organization. You want to be one. They want to desperately be one.
Appears that way.
You're a fucking sports network.
Right.
Okay. People are going to watch you for the sports. I used to religiously cut out time in the morning before I'd wake up early so I could cut out time for a half hour and watch SportsCenter.
Yes.
And see what happened. I have not watched SportsCenter for probably since the South. It's probably been about 5-10 years since the last time I sat down and watched SportsCenter.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's no longer part of my daily routine. I mean, in the glory days when you had Patrick and Olbermann, it was such good writing. They were funny.
It was funny.
Made sports fun.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you have the occasional Kobe, Roberto times where, it's tragic and you need to follow the story. That's okay.
Right.
But other than that, it's fun. Sports is fun. And, as much as, and I mean, we can talk about Garrett more. I'm done with it myself. If they want this asshole in the league, they can have the asshole in the league, but I'm not going to talk about him anymore because, that's my little way to say fuck you to.
Yeah.
To the story.
Guys, how powerful was Tomlin in his TV appearance?
Tomlin was incredible.
I thought it was great.
And I'm going to play the race card here, but to have a black man step up and make that kind of support, that was pretty powerful.
That's got to shut you up. Although I noticed ESPN when they were highlighting the Tomlin appearance, they cut out the part on him criticizing ESPN.
Of course they did.
So yeah, you want to be the far left end, but of course we'll edit out things that trash us.
That's the only thing in the White House, and I'm not going to go down this road because I don't know politics very well. I'm the worst American in the world when it comes to this stuff. But that's the one thing he always says. A lot of these networks, they cut stuff out because they don't want all the facts there. And that, to me, is completely Bush. I mean, I think Tomlin, again, is going to take the road, like you're saying, let's move on. We're playing football here. We're not a political organization. But I'm sure that the Steelers aren't real happy with that. So, and shouldn't be. But, unfortunately, let's see what happens. He should get positive credit for that. If we're going to make all these other social issues a part of all this, he should get credit for the fact that he is what he is and he did what he did. Now, people are going to say, oh, he's supporting his player. Yeah, of course he is. But he also stated clear facts. He talked to a lot of people in the Cleveland organization, a lot of people in the league, players on the field. Nobody corroborated anything here other than this one guy's opinion or statement.
If Mason did it, I'm all for fining his ass, suspending his ass. I have no problem with that. But it's America. We can all sit here and we can, and I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about, the country can sit here and, talk about our love of America by, the fake patriotism that we seem to be pushing at every nook and cranny of every sport.
Yep.
If you really love this country, you love due process of law. You love freedom of choice.
Yep.
You should be able to debate differing opinions with respect. But in the reality show that is sports and politics incoming, we're all being thrown around like suckers. We're suckers because we're allowing this to happen. And it just irritates me to no end. I mean, this is a serious thing. What the Astros did, don't get me wrong, that's wrong, okay?
Yep.
But they cheated at a sport. Okay, it's not basically the same level as trying to take somebody's ability to earn a living by lying to cover your own ass, or, trying to, instead of accepting responsibility and moving on, trying to say, I'm sorry, but,
Right.
Right to,
that's right. I agree, 100%. 100%.
The other thing we saw is the difference between the two organizations.
You go ahead, Chris. That's where I was going.
There's a reason that Cleveland, with a world of talent, does not win.
Yeah.
And it starts at the top. It starts with that attitude.
Yep.
Had anything like that happened, the Steelers would have crushed Myles Garrett and all of that behavior before it got anywhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's why you win. You need character to win. And there's just so precious few things. You could say that about the Patriots, but we'll do that, and then we'll get a happy ending on the day before the Super Bowl, and certainly the one thing that pisses me off about. A lot of things piss me off.
Bitter man.
A lot of things piss us all off. Bitter men on sports, right?
But you talk about Spygate. You talk about the Houston Astros cheating. They still had to make the plays, or it's still difficult to hit the ball, as if they're excusing this. There's a reason you protect your playbook. Because if somebody else gets your playbook, they have a hell of an advantage knowing what play is coming.
Correct.
And I'm sorry, if you know what pitch is coming, these are major league players. You're not talking about the three of us trying to hit a 90-mile-an-hour fastball where it doesn't matter if it's coming in at 90 miles an hour or 75 miles an hour. We're going to swing and miss.
We're not touching it, yeah.
Yeah. These are professional players that are at the
foul tipping it. I'm just saying.
What'd you say?
I'm foul tipping it, at least.
Yeah. Well, that's – go ahead, finish your thought, Nate. That situation's also offensive. Again, media coverage. Yeah. The leadership of that organization has shown what a complete lack of class that organization has.
Oh, my – well,
that's actually worse than even the Browns and Goodell and some of the NFL, to me, the behavior of the leadership of the organization.
Well, look at it this way. The guy is – and I'm not told – I don't know if Houston was told to go apologize.
I don't know either. From Manfred's interview, it kind of felt like he did encourage that, like whatever that's worth,
I was laughing my ass off the whole thing. Well, we're sorry it happened, but it really didn't affect the outcome. You won the World Series, okay? So you're saying that you cheated. I don't know why we cheated, because it didn't affect the outcome.
That's right. So what are you apologizing for then?
But I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah. My favorite, and I think we started a drinking game, Cousin Fran, I think you started a drinking game with this. I wish I could have done more.
Yeah. Yep.
I wish I could have done more.
I only own the team, and I'm a billionaire, but I didn't do anything. I couldn't do anything. Yeah.
They all said it. I wish I would have done more. Okay, so who was doing it? If you wish you could have done, if everybody wishes they could have done more.
Two things happened today with this.
Go ahead, Chris. I hear you. I was going to say the same.
So there's a spring training game. And one of the fans, I think it was Yankees and Astros playing a spring training game. One of the fans of the crowd brought a trash can and started beating on it.
That's good.
Second thing that happened today is LeBron James weighed in on. I don't know whether you guys saw it.
Whoa. Well, LeBron James himself weighed in on this.
And he said if that happened to him, he would have been fucking pissed. Those were his exact words.
He would have done more.
He said he would have been on the phone to the commissioner and if someone cost him a championship like that. And guys, we mock LeBron here and there, but that's the thing. He would have been on the phone with the commissioner. Where's the leadership in baseball? Because here's the other thing that I had one of those realization moments today. The Players Association were in on this whole thing.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. That's right.
And that just sort of dawned on me today, because there much more should have been done. And then Manfred came out today and said, well, it appears like they did it in the 2017 World Series. Oh, really?
But they didn't do it past 2018. Early 2018. They didn't do it past that, even though they were whistling, apparently, in last year's World Series.
Yeah, Suzuki and the Yankees both said the exact same story.
Yeah.
Suzuki for the Nats and the Yankees had the exact same story.
Did you see the one picture of them bowing to the camera after a home run?
No.
Yeah.
No.
They bowed to the camera after a home run in 2018 or 17.
The Astros, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta watch here. I mean, honestly, some of them, people like Altuve because he's the size of a munchkin.
Yeah.
I think he and Correa, they have some of the most obnoxious people playing the game in the whole league. To me, honestly, I can't.
The other day coming out and saying,
let's also talk about the other shit thing they did with the whole Garrett Cole trade.
Yep.
Oh my God! Can you believe that?
Yep.
That is just such horseshit. They manipulated their players with the cheating scandal, so they could increase their stats in the minors.
Yep. Yep.
And
No, how does Major League Baseball not step in on that one?
Because they want this desperately to go away, and luckily,
That's the bottom line.
the media is coming in good. Because you got to make this so uncomfortable for Manfred, who is the biggest clown I've ever seen in a commissioner role. He's just a clown.
I mean, it's certainly it's getting worse. I hate to say it. It really is too.
Yeah.
Getting worse.
But
and Dusty Baker coming out and saying, "Please don't hit me." Don't hit the players.
The man who is the practitioner of the beat ball at every place he's been.
That'd be like Don Drysdale saying that, or
the irony. You put Andrew McCutcheon out of the season by hitting him.
Mm-hmm.
How do you even? Oh man! And I like Dusty Baker. I mean, I got no problem with him, but this is what the guy does everywhere he's been. But please don't hit my guys.
Well, it's just I felt I mean, he's going to say he's protecting his players and he doesn't want somebody to get hurt or all this nonsense. I think he wanted to grab some positive attention here. I hate to say it. Like, he's such a good guy and he's looking out for his players. I mean, Manfred.
I've met him a couple times. He is a good guy, but he's known for doing exactly what he's begging.
Exactly. But I also think this is where, again, and I feel like Goodell has probably done he's got a better business situation than Manfred has, perhaps. They don't have the same disparity in revenue and all that kind of stuff, and don't have the declining interest. But both of them, now, I don't know, maybe it's something to do with the Players Association agreement and some of the other stuff, or maybe they both have just decided, these are controversies, so I'm just not going to say anything. But there's where Manfred should have been making a call and said, look, Dusty, I'm running the game. If people are throwing at somebody's eyeball every at bat, I'm going to have some severe penalties. But stop talking, okay? If you really do want to go away, which is what I think Manfred and some of these idiot owners want to happen, then stop talking. And I would do that. I wouldn't even do that on phone because people can track that. I would say, you know what, Dusty, I'm coming down to Florida in a couple of days. I'm going to meet you at your complex. We're going to talk about this, okay? I hear what your point is. But the way that things are done, it's like Manfred and Goodell just let the horse run out of the barn. And I feel the same way about this situation, that like with that particular issue, and as Chris mentioned with the NFL, like the NFL needs to place a phone call to Cleveland and say, look, you should be lucky. This guy should be count his days lucky. We had a guy that was suspended, although a repeat offender, for an on-field hit for a year.
Yeah. This
guy commits assault and he gets 5 games. Yeah. Tell him to quiet down. Tell him to stop going in front of the camera. That would be one of my calls. And the other thing is, and I would say, get control of this stuff. You get some clown every time he catches a 2-yard pass, he's practically pulling his pants down. Who would trade for an idiot like number 13?
I just got a thought in my head. That was quite a visual, Gary. But go ahead.
But I mean, who would trade for an idiot like that? Okay, somebody who's no team orientation at all makes somebody who was in Pittsburgh actually look pretty good, because at least the guy in Pittsburgh performed on the field. This clown doesn't. Yeah. Okay, but my calls would be quiet. I wouldn't have any media there. I wouldn't be looking for any attention. But if you're running these games, then run the games. Okay, that's my view. Yeah. So I think that's the biggest part of the problem here. But I've been saying this about ESPN for quite some time now. I mean, I do think that Oberman was a very bright guy, perhaps even Kenny Mayne was. But when they started to make that a bigger part of the show than the games themselves, yeah, it was fun in the beginning, but then I thought it got out of hand.
Yeah, you're right, Gary. It did.
You know what I mean? It got out of hand, particularly Kenny Mayne, I thought, was just not funny anymore. And he wasn't even talking about the games. All he wanted to do is run his stand-up act. Oberman, I think, couldn't get along with people, never can for long term, so he moved on. There were some others, even Dan Patrick, they were fine, but it got too far. Now we've gotten the same thing that we do have with some of these other news channels. I mean, to put this woman Kimes on there, got nothing to do with the fact she's a woman. I mean, she's probably 30 years old. She doesn't belong in a situation that's controversial with a major partner like that in the NFL. They should have somebody on there that, maybe Shap would have been the guy. I didn't see his part of it or read about it, but they keep messing this kind of stuff up. We don't need a drama every time we have a football game, a basketball game, a boxing match. We don't need that every time.
Well, the fact that you wanted to pull your at your heart with this, and what this poor guy has been through.
He's not been through anything. He assaulted a guy on the field with a deadly weapon.
And he wasn't kidding about it.
He's lied flat out again to protect himself, because he probably doesn't have too many other options, quite frankly. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
The Browns are a Bush League organization, and people are going to say, "Oh, you guys are Pittsburgh guys." That's got nothing to do with it. If the Pittsburgh was the other, I'd say the same thing.
Yeah.
And I was very critical of the Steelers organization with tolerating 2 complete jerks who aren't winning guys. Okay, no matter how talented they were. But I don't know. It is disappointing. I think you have to have it. Their streaming service does offer the most. We're going to talk about sports, so we're going to have credibility. You have to have it. But this kind of stuff, I think the only answer is just don't watch it. So I couldn't believe what I was reading on Friday again, thinking, now why is this coming back? I mean, we've been down this road. There was an investigation. There was no facts found. Why is this coming back? I mean, that's unbelievable in itself. And, look, James may be right, Chris. I hear your side of it. I don't know. I'm fed up with him, too. This is none of his business. Okay? I mean, we don't need his attention, his tweets thrown into this.
Well, I think it came out because somebody asked him.
Well, he does have a mic in front of his face all the time, so in his defense, I agree. But, I mean, he always got to grab attention. well, I this, and I feel that. I don't care what you feel here, okay? I really don't, no matter what you ask you or not. He could have said something like, you know what, I don't play baseball. I think, you want a fair playing field. It doesn't appear that it was. I think that needs to be fixed. And I think, I'm a professional athlete too. I wouldn't be happy in a situation where that happened. He didn't say that. It's I this and I that. Stop with the I. I don't care about it anymore. I don't care what you're doing outside the court. I don't care. The woman who on the news told him basically just be quiet and dribble was kind of what she was saying. Like, why does he got to weigh in on everything? And ESPN continues to foster that. I have a feeling their mic was one of the mics in front of him. So, but it's everything. And during the game, we got to go up. We got to talk to somebody about something happened, to somebody. Can't we just talk about what happened in the last sequences? What do you expect in the third quarter? ESPN has gotten totally away from that. Maybe not in college basketball, but in professional sports, they certainly have.
And then in the commercial, and I got to ask you guys this, why do I care if a bear's ass is clean?
I find that to be the most disturbing commercial.
Is it not?
I'm
not going to pick up my son's underwear because his fecal matter on the underwear so disgusts me. But thank God I don't have to worry about it now because he can wipe his ass, even though the bears don't wear bottles.
I don't understand. I don't understand. I mean, people are going to, some people are going to, if they're listening to us, are going to say we're just old guys with a bad attitude. But I mean, it's just bad humor. It's like watching a bad comedian.
I think the young don't like it either.
It's really the stupidest.
I don't know if it's a generational thing or not.
And
I hope not.
Answers the age-old question about what a bear does in the woods, though. There is that.
Let's do that. We've got one fact that we could use.
Apparently, he has underwear.
Yeah, and apparently he wipes clean.
How is it going to get washed if nobody will pick it up?
These are the questions.
Exactly. I mean, now I'm going to start thinking about it, doing people's laundry in the house. Do I have Charmin? Yes, of course. So I know their heinies are clean. Yes. So I'm going to have no problem doing my laundry. Others who use Cheer, I don't want to use, or not Cheer, but Scott. Let's say Scott, okay? Is that going to keep the hiney as clean, or are you going to want to do somebody else's underwear then?
These are the questions, Dave.
I have one other thought to add, and it's regarding Manfred, who really
not regarding the Bears. Okay.
No, I can't understand any of that. I'm with all of you guys on that, but
Manfred uses Charmin before we go on.
Yeah, I hope so. He needs it sometimes with some of the stuff that comes out of him. But
all right.
I mean, Manfred it's a tough situation, but he's actually done worse, believe it or not. And I think even that release of 24 playoff teams and reality shows and asking his 20-year-old kids and stuff, I think was to deflect some of the heat that he's under, and I think the league management's under. He's got another chance here. Okay, he can come right out in front of the press and say, "Look, kick you in the Red Sox part's over, and the Yankees as well. All right, we've completed our investigation. I know people think we should have went further. In order for us to get the facts to make a decision, we had to trade immunity. That's life. Those of you who don't like it, too bad. Even players in the rest of the league, too bad. That's what we had to do. We did it. We're not going to do that going forward. We're taking all video out. Any organization caught doing it, the penalties will be more severe than they were this time. And if there's any players involved, you'll be more severely. You'll also be more severe. He has a chance to do that. I don't want to hear about the Players Association. Too bad. I'm sure there's something that agree with the Players Association that violating rules like this, it violates some of their rights. He needs to get some attorneys behind him. He needs to have something come out, not prepared. He needs to show a little fire, and he could do that. My prediction, not a chance.
Yeah,
not a chance. He's going to continue to deflect these conversations. He's going to take the left wing way, not left wing, the weak way out, instead of coming right out and saying, look, we've now got the facts. There's some things we can reveal. There's some things we can't. We're going to do these things right away. No video technology. None in locker rooms. None in dugouts. Nowhere. Caught, severe penalty. Any players doing it still, using that kind, severe penalty. Be assured, it's not going to be the same going forward. We are not going to have this happen again. He needs to do that. He won't do it.
There's as much a chance of me picking up the Bears' underwear with my teeth.
Yep. And if I was an owner, but if we were fortunate enough to be billionaire owners, I got to believe I'm not the only one, and I got to believe some other people in the game cannot stand this clown Crane.
Yeah.
Okay. You're telling me that some of these wealthy owners, some of those ones in York or Henry, Dave, who we talk about, they're not going to go to Manfred and say, you need to make a strong statement. This don't happen again.
Move them out.
Right. You better make a strong statement. This don't happen again, because we're not having this. We got a lot of money invested here.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, they could push him to do that, but I don't know. For some reason, they won't do it. Now, maybe Musgrove's comments a little bit prophetic, and I think he might be telling the truth. I'm not sure this is the only case, and I think that's another reason why Manfred is kind of on the backtrack. I think they know that it's a little bit deeper, and they don't want the media to get a hold of it. That's what I believe.
Well, I'm just waiting for his next outrageous opinion of what rules should change to kind of deflect the thought process away from this.
At first, I thought that playoff thing was just another money grab because they're not drawing any attention. TV ratings are going down. But then I read something where somebody said, yeah, it might have been in Stan's site. Somebody said, that's just a deflected from this controversy. That may have been true. That may very well have been true.
Well, Dave, you're always good at starting this thing with nicknames. I've got a nickname for Altuve coming up for this coming season. He's going to be called Ron Hunt because he's going to hit at least 47 times this year.
It's going to be ugly in the beginning. I do think
there's no doubt in my mind they will break the major league record for most hit batsmen in a year. You can mark that down right here.
Well, real quick, you got to love Correa's comment to inflame the situation more. Oh, well, he deserved the MVP because he didn't take any. He didn't want any of the signs coming in, so he played it clean. So don't.
He went la 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 when they were banging the drum.
Exactly. Yet he hit the ball doing that.
Look, they're going to get they were Jeopardy getting drilled anyway, Chris, because of their mugging after a single. If they keep doing that kind of stuff, they better be a lot more subdued because they alienate a lot of people to begin with. So.
Yeah, because only the bad people that aren't there, they're the only ones that took the damn signal. He was good.
Yeah.
Judge Landis would say no. That's all I'm saying.
Although Correa, and then we're going to have to say goodbye because we're almost up. Correa never mentioned that he didn't take the signals.
He never mentioned that. You're correct. Right.
No.
Oh, man.